Yeah.
That's amazing.
You missed the hour one story. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I waited till I was
not
1,000-year-old to tie a dating app for the first time in my life. And of all people, I was the target of a Russian honeypot. It went on for 6 weeks, calling, texting, blah, blah, blah. And then finally last week was, can I give you my bank information so that you can make this financial.
1 in 20, they say, which and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud. Yeah, I'm very proud.
I mean, they had, the asking for your bank information was a way of
hers. She wanted to give me hers so I could make a financial transaction for her.
Yeah, there's a scam there somewhere. We can't figure it out, but there is one.
I think that's a way to jettison the whole thing. I think the plan was to get you to send her some verified nudes so they could mess with you, and I don't think you're there yet.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I would be. I'm notoriously 3 picks in. I'm like, what part do you need to see to get this going? How do we get this rolling? That's why it was great that there was never any dating apps around, of any measure back then. I had to send drawings. I had to do personal
caveman
sketches.
Drawings.
It was like my own Titanic moment. I was just sketching in a mirror.
That's how long ago you started on the internet. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Draw me like one of your French girls.
Yes.
Yes. That's right. Well, congratulations. I think that means you've made it. Looks like you've made it.
Yes, I'm officially the dumbest woman alive. Thank you very much.
No. You're officially.
Although every hair did stand on my neck, and I said, "Oh no, absolutely not. Will I do that? Will I make a financial transaction for you?" But it was like 6 weeks of calling and texting and lesbian stuff. She said, "I love you." Spend our lives together.
U-Haul.
Blah, blah. Right. U-Haul. Blah blah. Right.
Well, I growing up in Kentucky, I've been actually catfished.
With an actual catfish.
For real, yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's
noodling.
It happened while I was swimming. It was an accident for both of us, and yet,
you are a delight. Okay, so the other bombshells from this week, of course, are. I don't know. Where'd you like to start? I don't know. U.S. Marshals seizing voting machines. The president putting a hit out on the vice president. Where would you like to start?
Exactly. Are we going to find out this week who brought the wood to build the gallows on the Capitol grounds? Like that, of all the things, and hashtag where's Caden? So there was a kid, I don't know if you know this, but in some of the footage, one of the Jan 6 rioters, as I covered it on my live stream and as it was going down, there was this guy wandering around who was trying to break in and stuff, and he had brought his 10-year-old with him, this kid Caden, and lost him in the crowd.
Oh.
Still don't know what happened to that kid.
Okay.
Hashtag where's Caden?
And is there a Gallows Are Us where you buy them ready-made?
Yeah, exactly.
Or are those,
I mean, somebody had to watch a YouTube video to figure out how to, construct a scaffolding like that or whatever, unless they had construction people. But I would argue that the most fun part for me, besides the fact that Navarro was, complaining about leg irons, was the fact that it is increasingly, it's going to come out a bunch this week, that which Trump advisors thought he was full of crap, thought it wouldn't work, but went along with it anyways, and are now distancing themselves to protect themselves from the Jan 6 committee and the legal implications from it, and the people who are going to be all in, because Trump is going to be chewing the heads off of a lot of these people based on the testimony they gave to the Jan 6 committee, even if in public they've been lying on his behalf, from Kevin McCarthy to Steve Bannon, all this crowd. A lot of what they've said, both their texts, during the time and since then, are going to come out, and a lot of the conversations that they've had with the committee are going to be shown, and he's going to blow his top, and it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, well, this is in the waning days of the Trump administration after the election was lost. Senate preparing to certify the results. Former Vice President Pence was one of a wide array of White House insiders hoping that Trump would accept his fate and leave quietly instead of creating the chaos that eventually broke out. Really? Oh wow, they're bigger. They're more naive and hopeless than I am. Mm-hmm. Pence Chief of Staff Mark Short called the head of Pence's Secret Service detail to express fears that Pence might be in danger as Trump ramped up his criticism of him. It put Pence in the camp of those who once again were hoping that Trump would fizzle out before he blew up. I just love all of this. When Pence told Trump he couldn't go through with the plan, the president said, No. You betrayed us. I made you. You were nothing. Your career is over if you do this. It's
like a dinner theater version of the Godfather 4. The the unknown territory.
Okay,
let's workshop this.
All right, Chairman Schiff.
We're aiming at people, an audience, frankly, that still has an open mind about these facts.
Yeah.
We want to counter the continuing propagation of big lies, and that's what our goal is.
Yeah, I don't even know which is more bombshelly. In the weeks leading up to the January 6th assault, an attorney with ties to the Trump campaign was circulating a memo with plans to block the certification of the Electoral College votes. Chesborough, he's new. Kenneth Chesborough, that guy. He had detailed plans that would put Pence. Would delete Mike Pence as that's where Chuck Grassley would step in. The email subject line read brief notes on the president of the Senate strategy. Chesborough wanted Pence to recuse himself, and then Chuck Grassley would be in charge, right? This was very detailed.
I'll be in charge of counting the votes. Chuck Grassley's on the job.
After I boil some little rabbits.
Absolutely. We're going to come on down there. Listen here. Settle down. You get a corncob pipe, and that means you're an elector. They're all in the bucket. Grab one. He's like Chuck Grassley missed his calling as an early 50s Disney character in a cartoon. That said, the greatest thing about this is, and I would like to remind everyone while they're watching these things, as they go on, that all of these attempts, while horrifying attacks on our democracy, yes, were attempted by the biggest idiots on the planet. Literally, the strategic minds that were impressed by Vladimir Putin's strategic thinking.
Yeah.
These folks literally are the perfect people to try and attempt this, because not only did they show their butt to the entire world in the process, but they failed miserably at doing it. And the worst shock against our democracy in 150 years was a fart in a bag. They just basically ran up on the steps, popped it, and then went home.
Yep.
I love that. Okay, my point is though, this is what they're getting ready. They're trying to do it better and smarter the next time. This is that's why this is
they
chilling.
Won't be able to.
And there's got to be accountability because
I agree, but I will tell you this: there is no smarter next time. There is no better contrived version of this, because anybody that could contrive it even 1% better wouldn't try it. Because it's insanity. There's a huge
when they say alternate electors, it's fraudulent electors.
Bring in my own alternate jurors if I could. Mostly family.
They're all
members
my family, right? And my co-conspirators.
People who owe me money. A couple of them are witnesses. Yes, Your Honor. Ironically, they've been subpoenaed by the prosecution, but I think that's unfair, and I think they should be disqualified because they are now jurors on my magic court.
Well, it is interesting. I want to get your take, Hal. And I mean, we talked about this Trump-proofing the presidency. Jamie Raskin has pushed colleagues on the House Select Committee to ditch the Electoral College to protect future presidential elections against the subversion that Trump and his allies tried to pull off in 2020. Adam Schiff has indicated his agreement, but is more focused on reforming the Electoral Count Act, which dictates the timeline for states to appoint electors and for them to subsequently cast their presidential votes. Liz Cheney and Zoe Lofgren are also working on that. But I mean, if they had done their job and impeached him so he couldn't run again, but because they didn't do that, right? And remember Mitch McConnell said, he hasn't gotten away with anything. Courts, I mean, they're hoping, they keep punting it, going, well, we can't do it because the crazy Trump voters, but the DOJ should. I mean, basically Mitch McConnell said the DOJ should do it. He hasn't gotten away with anything. That's what we have criminal courts for. Oh, no, not impeachment. And now...
Here's one thing that could solve a lot of this, whatever. Pass a law that gives it automatically 5 years in jail if you fraudulently vote on purpose, and 10 years if you deny someone their vote per charge, individual. If you stop anyone from voting or limit their ability to vote artificially, willfully and knowingly by brooming them from the electoral rolls or any of that kind of stuff, every person you do that to, automatic 10 years. And, Trump was going to do it about monuments, about statues, automatic 10 years if you wreck a statue. Well, wrecking someone's right to vote in the greatest democracy on the planet arguably would be something that would matter on that same scale. And I think it's one of those things where Republicans would have a hard time. They'd vote against it. The Freedom Caucus would vote against it. All these people would freak out because they know that they're the ones actually committing the fraud every time it's found.
Yeah.
You find Republicans at the end of it.
It's a Trump voter. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Here's Kevin McCarthy, who there was a story recently that reporters just won't say how dumb as he is. But they all know he's dumb as
Yeah.
bag of hair. Okay.
I did receive a subpoena, and I requested, I asked for information, 11 pages. I sent a letter to this committee. I sent a letter to this committee a year ago when they asked to talk to me, and they never responded. My opinion of the committee has not changed. Because remember what this committee is. Remember what the purpose is. First, Nancy Pelosi has broken 232-year history of the House by not allowing the minority to appoint anyone to the committee.
See, that's what it's like your alternate jury theory. It's like, yes, they would like to appoint everyone that was involved in the crime.
Right, yeah. Why can't
Nancy
they be on
Pelosi
it?
said maybe not. Have the other bank robbers.
Why these specific people? Gee, I don't know. You've got, what, 240 members or something like that, and you can even technically bring in people from staff. You could put one of their lawyers on if you wanted to, but, you know, there's all kinds of legal wiggle room on these investigative committees, and yet the only people they want to put on are people we're finding out are crucial to the plot.
Yes.
And specifically in the case of Jim Jordan, we're talking to Trump all day.
Yes. Although, as he answered, he's not sure what happened when it was because before, after, during.
I don't know. Honestly, my head was so full of victims of sexual assault on the wrestling team at Ohio State that it's all backed up dealing with that issue that I don't even remember who I called that day.